Well, once again, here we are uh, doing a live because why not? What an interesting week the last week has been, both in the news and just for me, because, well, it's just been interesting as hell. And thanks everyone for coming. So, tonight we're going to talk about cafe standards uh, and the current state of cars in the United States and the Mecum auction, which is going on right now over in Kissimmee, Florida. And it's going on for the first 2 days. And actually, I went through there and I pulled about, I don't know, 10 interesting cars that I honestly pretty good deals. Now, because the big thing when you go to on these big auctions, you always see on TV, you're going to see Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And those are the days where the big money comes out. But honestly, I'm going to show you that if you go there on Wednesday or Thursday and you're looking for something not too super special, like Autobot Al, who cannot be here tonight, Autobot Al's IROC, you actually may get a hell of a deal on the car. Everything with those prices, you must remember you're paying a 10% VIG on top of the cost. But hey, that's what happens. So without further ado, and we'll do this some more. Let's go and talk about this insanity. My friend sent this to me, and I am absolutely just salivating at this. I'm really not one of these people that say, "Oh, can't have a Bronco without a V8 in it." No, I'm not that person. But dear God, they took a 7.3 liter Godzilla, which is basically what, a 428 V8, and they fit it into a brand new Raptor. This is Juicy Motorsports. Bubba Ryan from XIII 4x4 went and got a closer look at this thing, and they were able to take a Ford crate engine and plumb this into the truck and made it look absolutely positively normal. And now, if you're all asking yourselves, why didn't they use the 5 liter? 7.3 is a simpler engine. It's push rod engine, doesn't have giant heads on it. Really, honestly, is a super easy install for doing modified cars. And they can use the PCM. They can use the wiring harness without any type of modifications. Even they put the 1080R 10R80, which is the F250 transmission, F350 transmission and up. So, I mean, honestly, this is impressive and very hopeful, because when that this can be done by just a person on the street. But you know what, Benjamin? It doesn't matter about if it gets good gas mileage. It really doesn't. And honestly, a Turbo 6, which is what this is replacing, running it, hard, you're going to get the same fuel economy as this V8. The only time the Turbo 6 is going to outperform, let me get myself bigger. The only time the Turbo 6 is going to outperform this is unloaded. I mean, literally, that's the only time you're going to actually see an actual difference is when, you're just cruising it. Because when you're not cruising it, when you're actually driving hard, and they did this on Top Gear, they took an M3, a V8 M3, and the Prius, and they ran around the track as hard as hell, and they got the same fuel economy. Just let that set in for a second, that a Prius will get the same fuel economy as a V8 M car if you drive it hard. So, yeah, I mean, but you know what? The fuel economy really doesn't matter because Cafe has gotten canceled. One of the few interesting things that has happened, and one of the more positive things for car owners everywhere, and I really mean this is for every car owner, is the elimination of fines to the manufacturers for not meeting the corporate average fuel economy, which I have here. I'll show you. This is what it is, if you're not familiar with it. It was started in 1975. It was actually done under the Ford administration. It came into effect in 1978, and it made it so all cars had to get, on an average, across like Ford, all their vehicles, their cars, had to get 18 miles to the gallon on average. So you had your big cars that got like 14, but then you had escorts, that got like, 20, 22, 24, whatever, and that averaged 18. Well, that was fine and good because, we had just gone through a gas crisis, and, they overreacted, as governments will, because never ask for the government to make a law because they will do something stupid like this. And this could have been destroyed very easily in the early 80s, but unfortunately, most politicians don't rock the boat. It's just not a way that things are done. And so it was allowed to continue, and it was raised over time to the point where we were now up, we were going to come up, it was at 42.4 miles per gallon average for cars. That's why Ford and General Motors stopped making cars. I gotta let the cat in. Letting the cat in. Okay. So this has really made it, this has made having cars very, very expensive, because it does things to cars that are not natural, like having, like, this is why Hyundais are not good over the long run because of cafe standards, because their pistons are like this tall, and a normal V8 piston is like this tall, from the top of the skirt to the top of the piston. Well, what happens, because they're using that little short piston, that it just doesn't take the beating over time. The rings get crushed together. It starts burning oil. The motor is toast by 100,000 miles. And I mean, so that is where, that starts adding to cost to you and me as a car consumer. Plus, then you have all these gadgets on cars, cylinder deactivation, all the different sensors on cars. The you have direct injection, which absolutely is neat, but very, very hard maintenance on the actual car itself, because it causes the valves to get completely gummed up by just, the natural combustion of the car, because no fuel washes over those intake valves to clean them. And on old cars, the gas would go over and clean it. Gas is actually a very, very good detergent, and is a universal cleaner. I mean, that's what you used to wash parts in and wash your hands in when you finish working on a car, is in gasoline. So now that this is dead, well, supposed to be dead, the thing is that V8 Bronco is something that Ford could just build, because there is no fine for that thing getting 12 miles to the gallon. And this is where, does it matter that the fines are zero, that they put it in a bill? No, it doesn't, unless the manufacturers actually do something to make these actually come true. It doesn't matter if there's no fine. It doesn't matter if there isn't any repercussions, because without any cars that would have not been able to be built, it won't matter. So it's really interesting when you see this type of stuff, and you read a headline, but then the whole point of it is that it didn't really matter, because if nobody builds the car, it doesn't actually benefit us as the consumer, because the peak car was actually built in my eyes in the 1990s, and if they just kept that technology, our cars would last 250,000 miles all day long. With just good maintenance, they would last 250,000 miles, because they had built the ultimate cars in the 90s. When if you took away all the stuff they needed for fuel economy, whatnot, lightening of the cars and all these plastics and everything, the cars were peak car, and with good maintenance, through 250,000, 300,000 miles all day long, yeah, and no problem at all. And to you and me, that actually is a great big benefit, because we get to keep cars longer and not have to spend money on getting new ones or doing major repairs on them. Because right now, the way the cars are set up, hey, we're going to have massive repairs on them, and it's really expensive. And also, same thing with transmissions. I mean, there's so many subsystems that actually made don't ever take that bet, Benjamin. This cat has actually licked my eyes when I was to wake me up in the morning. So yeah, we have a close bond. But no, so even transmissions though, that's why transmissions cost $5,000 to fix now, $6,000 to fix, because of CAFE standards, adding gears, making them more complicated. They have to make them out of plastic to make them lighter. It is really such a negative thing for all of us to have this this overlord that isn't making cars actually go and tell car manufacturers how to make a car that we want. So I find that very I find it interesting, but I'm really concerned that no one's going to do what needs to be done and build simple pushrod V8. I mean a simple V8, not the 5.7 Hemi, which is not a simple engine. It really isn't. It's two plugs per cylinder. There's a lot of things wrong with that, but a simple one like that 7.3 Godzilla motor is actually a very simple V8. It's huge, but it's simple, and it can be scaled down. I think it's similar to the FE engine. So I mean, Ford still has 351s. That's a great truck engine. It's an awesome truck engine. I could pull all day long, and I'm fighting a cat as we talk here. So it's just kind of fascinating stuff that's happening, because the last week's just been weird with all the things coming out. I actually did a video the other day. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, because there's been a lot of hoopla over at Stellantis North America that Dave Kuniskis is back. Dave Kuniskis is the guy that was like the father of the Hellcat. He was head of Dodge when they had all the performance. And I did a video on that. It just it kind of went into really the reality of the structure at Stellantis North America, which is really, really weird. And that's a company I just don't trust. And I will always say, if you have a choice between a Stellantis product and someone else, buy someone else. It's just going to be a better product. I don't care what it is. I don't even like General Motors, and I would buy a General Motors product over a Stellantis vehicle any day of the week. I wouldn't even think twice about it. So I mean, it's just the way I feel about it. I don't think that they make very good cars. They don't make very good trucks. They have lots of issues with them. They had the best engineering in the world, Italian and French, because we always think of Italian and French engineering as being just heads and shoulders above the rest. Yeah, no. So let's this is also something kind of fascinating. And it utterly just fascinating, because I'm fascinated with this, that somebody actually took the time to do a thing on Autoblog, the most owned cars in the United States by brand. And I mean, the top couple are not surprising, because, well, they shouldn't be. I mean, if you actually, if you follow cars, none of these are, I mean, the first two are not surprising. So the number one is, of course, got to scroll through all the garbage, Chevrolet. They are the largest manufacturer in, the seller of cars in the United States. Not the largest manufacturer in the world, General Motors. Toyota is now, strangely enough, but 12.5% of all vehicles on the road are Chevrolet. But Ford is number two. Look at that, above Toyota. 11.7% are Fords. That's because of the F-150 and the trucks. Toyota is number three in the United States with 10.5%. That's because they sell the Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. RAV4 is absolutely, by far, the dominant car in the small SUV class. Absolutely 100%. This is a car that absolutely, wow, what is this? I hate this. And Nissan, which is shocking because of all the bad stuff that's happened to them, they're number 4 actually at 8.6%. There's Honda, which I'm shocked that Honda was 5. I thought Honda would be above Nissan, but 'tis not. 8.3, because I think they're having a little problem with the CRV. It's not selling like it used to, and neither is the Civic. Those are 2 cars that are having just the 2 vehicles are just having issues. Then Hyundai, of course, because they're full on with this ugly. Good Lord, what an ugly, ugly vehicle that thing is. Good, 5.7 a Hyundai, but they pushed hard. They literally pushed hard. And then Kia, which is also same company, that is they're 5.1. So actually, together, Hyundai and Kia are about the same as Ford. So you will see as many Hyundais and Kias when you combine them together as you will Fords. That's crazy. And here's Dodge, and I like they showed the electric appliance that they have sold 4,200 of these. This will be changing very, very soon because Dodge, that's what happened in the last week. Dodge released their second quarter. They released their second quarter, and it was horrific. They sold this is Dodge, and they sold 27,000 vehicles in quarter 2. And that is but I like Autoblog completely missing they missed the script here. Even those with vehicles inch closer to extinction in EV era. The EV era is over. It's over. It's done. Because also with the cafe going away, the EV credit is going away. So you're going to add $7,500 to that expensive appliance. And honestly, it doesn't compete. It just can't. And then, of course, there's Jeep because people just buy Jeeps, 3.9%. And then GMC trucks, which are basically just copies of Chevy trucks now. And honestly, just the marketing campaign. They used to be actually have differences in them, but like that was like 40 years ago. Now there's no difference between the two things. 2.6% of them. So that's pretty amazing, though, that on there, like, BMW isn't on there, and BMW sells a lot of cars, but obviously not that many. Volkswagen's no longer on there, which is really funny. Because Volkswagen for a while was a major player in the United States, and then they screwed them with the Dieselgate, and they they literally died. Let's see, Sue M. Sue M. She's all about those GMC trucks. I hate those trucks. They're angry drivers. In Vintage 76 Garage, no need to have GMC trucks. No. General Motors, it's so weird that they killed Pontiac and they killed Oldsmobile, but they kept GMC truck. Pontiac and Oldsmobile deserved to be around before GMC truck did, especially when you have Chevy trucks, which are just copycats of the GMC truck. It made no sense to me, and it made no sense to kill the oldest car brand in the United States, and also the United States' first performance car brand, Pontiac, and you just murdered them for no. Oops, can you say that? They deaded them. They deaded them, and I don't understand those. Oh, Sue M, those are the F-150s. Oh, you're talking about F-150s or no? F-150s are made by Ford. GMC would be a 1500 or a 1500 or a Yukon, a Sierra, Acadia. No, a Ford is an F-150. I have an F-150. I'm not angry. No, irritated with people, not angry. Yes, Vintage 76, Pontiac Sioux State. Absolutely, there was no reason for Pontiac to die. In fact, I should do. I honestly. I've been thinking about stuff to do videos on that I would think everybody would find fun. And you know what? Pontiac. I'm gonna do a video on the history because I actually included them when I did a thing on the muscle car because they created it through DeLorean being a genius. He created the muscle car because there were fast cars, but he made the one that was just cheap and aimed at young people. Oh my God, you had a God, Benjamin. Wow, Benjamin, he had a vibe. Oh, good Lord. You have had like every bad car. For sure. I had a Pontiac Vibe, which had a Toyota engine in it. Never had a problem with it. Yeah, I mean, the engine was great and it was still, the rest of it was, the design on that car was just, that was a tough. Let me show everybody what a Pontiac Vibe looked like. I always call them a bad vibe. Because this is like, this car, it's like they started designing it and then they kind of forgot to finish it. And this is where I'll even show the I'll show the back side of it, because this is really where it hits home how absolutely ugly this car was. They forgot to design the back of the car. Yeah, I mean, they literally just decided, well, screw it, it's good enough. We did everything else. The back doesn't need anything. So yeah, it was just kind of there. Yeah, Pontiac, the battle vibe. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff was like, these were fog in the bottom. Those are fog lamps from like another car. I mean, everything about this car was just kind of leftovers, but the engine was good. It was the same as the Toyota. That was a Toyota. It had that 4-cylinder from Toyota. Yeah. So I've never seen that car in my life. Oh, you have? They're so bland. Trust me, you have seen this car. You have seen this car. But it's so bland. I mean, it is so utterly devoid of interest that you just didn't notice it. It should have been, yeah. Wait, I guess no, actually, Barbara DeRush, yeah, came with a 10 attached to the back of the car. No, that's the Aztec, the best built vehicle ever to come out of Pontiac. I swear to God, they actually are still on the road, and they haven't been built in 20 years. It's almost been 20 years, and they were truly an ugly car, but they had this, and this is what you're talking about. They had this setup. As I pull it up and show you, they had that. They had the tent that you could put on the back of this thing. I actually saw somebody here in Florida. And they were driving, and they were in front of me, and I looked down, and I had the plate. It said Fugly. And I, honest to God, like, how did you get that past motor vehicle? And I literally had to roll down the window and go, dude, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just absolutely just phenomenal humor there. Benjamin, bringing more info. The Vibe was a joint venture with Toyota. The Toyota made that was the car, the Matrix, which is an incredible car. It was the same car, same motor, but I thought the Vibe looked better than the Matrix. I don't know. It was kind of bland. The Matrix had some jazz to it, at least. Yeah. There are none of those cars in New York. Yes, they all disintegrated from the or the people just left. Either or. They either disintegrated from the winners or the people just left. Breaking Bad TV show happened. Yes, it did. All right. So yeah, no, Sue M. I would die if I saw a tent on the back of someone's car. Well, no, you're not going to drive around with the tent on the back of the car. You stop and go camping, and I have a cat licking my leg. And if I look like I'm spastic, it's because I have a cat that is licking my leg while I'm trying to talk cars with everybody. And what does everybody think of my disco lights? I got my disco lights on. I figured I figured that I would do something. I've done something different. I've had them on for a couple of days. It's kind of mesmerizing when you sit and stare at it. I don't do drugs, but if I did, this would actually be kind of cool. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. So yes, Sue, you never seen that. Wow. Wow. And the thing is, there are so many of those Aztecs. There are so many of those Aztecs because General Motors, when they were going to just remove Pontiac, they did a deal that if you were an employee of General Motors, you bought them for less than cost. I mean, they were giving them away to their employees. So for less than cost, you could have gotten this vehicle. Yes, I know it doesn't look awesome, but for less than cost, you got that vehicle. And I mean, I think it was like 10 grand or something like that. It was really cheap. And honestly, they ended up being one of the best built vehicles they had. Yes, the Buick Rainier was the same body style, except they didn't have the really ugly back on it. But it was the same thing, and those were built incredible. I mean, literally, it's amazing that General Motors had these incredible vehicles at in the early 2000s uh, that literally were phenomenal, but they had so much garbage that they were selling besides these good cars that they ended up where they did, where they were bankrupt. General Motors went bankrupt in 2009, and it's only through some smoke and mirrors that Government Motors was born. Uh, Benjamin, I'm going to play some Staying Alive in the background. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You got to get the lights going and get a lava lamp. Yeah, I figure, if I can get like a car lava lamp and put it right there near the Roadrunner, maybe. Because I have my library set up there. That's most of my books. And so yeah, I think I could go put another one, maybe a lava lamp on the lower desk. That'd be kind of cool. I'm okay. I'm trying to experiment with this office space, so I'm trying to make it a little bit more fun. I've spent a lot of time. Yes, BG's night show, absolutely. That's the vibe I'm going for. Everything's 70s back there anyway, so you might as well. But yeah, I kind of because I have a little futon here. I can sit and I can work on my videos without sitting at the actual desk. I write my scripts out. Yes, my handwriting is that bad. That's why I end up typing everything. But I have a little window here. The cats can hang out. I just wanted to have like a whole little kind of cool vibe going on here. No, an SXM sign would not look nice. Thank you, Barbara DeRush. Thanks for telling me it looks good. I appreciate that. You have no idea how much work I did to do all that. I have cabinets above them, and I hung those cabinets myself. I put the shelving in by myself. I bought a big table to make a desk, another working desk over there. Actually, there is an empty space to actually work on that desk too. And yeah, because I had this was like supposed to be a fourth bedroom in my house, and it's just been an office because the uh the wife is a veterinarian, and I have more books than you can ever fathom. I mean, seriously, I have 4 bookcases in here. Yeah, I have 4 bookcases in here full of books. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Sure. Why not? All right. So this ought to be fun trying to get this camera to work. Okay. Let me see how far I can make it just move without doing anything because it is all right. So all right. So there's the all right. So there's the futon. There's the window. See, there's my CD. See, there's my CD tower over there. That's actually an old El Producto box from my grandfather's store. And then up there is I won't go any higher. So, but that's the lights are at the bottom of the there's a shelf right above it, and then above that is a little bit of a. Those are my cabinets, and then down here, I can't get it to go over. Okay, I have file cabinets over there where I have all my files. But let me see. Let me see if I could turn this thing around. All right. So, oh, see there's there's all the bookcases. There's some pictures. There's still crap on top of those. I'm still working on that. I mean, there's a lot of books. And then as you go over here, you see there's my light so I don't look ridiculous, but there's more books and they're all animal books. See, there's a window. So yeah, and there up there is my see I got trophies and stuff up there. I got my Wi-Fi. Gotta have your Wi-Fi. And then, so that's pretty much now I gotta try to get this camera back. Oh, good lord. Oh, there we go. I have no idea where it's aimed. Oh, it's still aimed on me. Yay. Okay, so that is literally what I've done. I'm still working on it because, and now my camera's crooked. That's better, I guess. But yeah, so I'm still working on this. This is because I need to have like an organized space to work in because otherwise I can't work in chaos. I really don't. Yes, Barbara, I told you. I was not joking about the number of books. I wish I was kidding. No. Only like 3 shelves are mine. Honest to God, 3 shelves are mine. No, Sue M. Most of them are animal books. I wish I was kidding. I have probably 150 books on taking care of animals in here. Easily. I think I saw a cat surgery for dummies book. Yes, that's mine actually. I was trying to help the wife. No, Benjamin, that webcam is a gift for Monique. It is not a cheap webcam. It's just that I have to have it on a stand to be able to use it. And yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Articulate John, yes, I unfortunately have that. Yes, I've ripped it a new one on my other podcast, Radio Gunk, because yes, I had. Let's see. Jamie, is Isuzu still in business? I don't see him around anymore. I hated those Joe Isuzu commercials years ago. I think Isuzu still is around. I think that they have like 1 or 2 models, if I remember correctly. I think that General Motors works with them. They make commercial vehicles. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're still around only for commercial vehicles. They make like diesels and heavy diesels and stuff like that, and small city diesels. But I am unsure that they actually. I'm unsure. I got a cat problem here. Isuzu Motors. Wait. Wait. Hold on. I'm looking, processing here. Whoa, what the? That doesn't look right. No. Oh, where is this from? Isuzu.com. Wow. Yeah. So it's still Isuzu still is a thing, but yeah, they literally they Isuzu basically just makes light. Those little box trucks, the small ones. That's what Isuzu brings to the United States now. I don't even know if they make cars anywhere else in the world. Because they did do like a whole partnership with General Motors, and that didn't work very well. I think in 2008 or so, they got it was just done. Let's see. I got a collection of parts catalogs. So do I. Ugh. I have my Hollander behind me. I have like 2 interchange, actually 3 interchange books. The Hollander's the biggest, and everything stops at 1975 because I don't care about anything after that, really, except my BMWs. And then I have like source books and all sorts of things like that. I think Isuzu makes skis. I didn't see that, but okay, sure. Oh boy, we got completely sidetracked now. All right, so Let's just move on to this because this is actually kind of fun. This is what's happening right now over in uh, Kissimmee, Florida. We have the summer special, as they call it, and this is from today. So this is I was going through, and these are auctions that actually were finished not that long ago, and it's been very fascinating when you go through it. What's been happening with the pricing on cars? And if you see the bid goes on, like on this van, which that means it was reserve on it, and this is a 23 window conversion. Uh, yeah, that's probably I mean, obviously something's wrong with it. It's only or the right bidders aren't there because that's usually like a $60,000 vehicle. Like the Starliner, only 13 grand. See, this is for when they go out on Thursdays. You don't have the heavy hitters there or people just specifically looking for deals. So, like, of course, this Mustang GT, this is the first year of that Fox body with that cladding, $27,500. Seriously, for a Mustang GT. I mean, that's craziness. It has 31,000 miles on it, but still, it's a Mustang GT. 27.5. That means the person paid about $30,000 for this car with 31,000 miles on it. Wow. Ooh. Vintage 76 Garage. I got Bosch parts catalog. If you need BMW part numbers, sure, hit me up with that. I mean, I use Real OEM online. If you have a European car, especially BMW, Real OEM is like they're phenomenal because they have all the part numbers and diagrams, and it's free. So I mean, it's a wonderful resource to have because I have figured stuff out and found parts. And then you could always with BMW, the key with BMW is to buy the original the OEM supplier, not the OEM part. The OEM supplier will be about half the price. Like if you buy the overflow tank on an X5, BMW is $110. If you go and buy it, from who makes it? It's Bear. It would be like, $45. It's just a really and let me see if I can. I'll just which one's E50? All right, sure, why not? So Jetta, okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna show this real quick. So you got me I'm like I'm like ADHD over here. So this is Real OEM site, and this is like on an X5 E53 4.4 liter, like we used to have, and it gives you all the system breakdowns. And this, for BMW, this is absolutely, and it goes all the way back through the E30. So if you had an E30, you put in the number, and is it there? Oh yeah, there is. There's my E30's last four of its VIN, and then you browse the parts, and like they actually have like diagrams of engine parts, the numbers, a kind of a rough estimate where it is. But I mean, this thing's invaluable when you're looking for pieces. Absolutely invaluable. And for any BMW owner, this thing is this is so helpful. It's not even funny because without this, it's really, really hard to figure out what parts are where and what the part numbers are. So you can find the part number. Like you could go in and let's say, like this fan clutch. These always go bad. If you look here, it's part number 2. And I mean, the price of it is psychotic. It's $200 from BMW. And they have the superseded numbers. So you go there, and what I usually do is I search Google, and then you go here, and it's $50. Yeah. Here's the original one, 314, replacement $50. If you get lucky, you can find the original on Amazon and it'll ship for free. But this one is out of stock. See, the Male Bear. And that's an original equipment, but it's not original equipment price. And so that's kind of yeah, that's kind of a neat way. But yeah, I'm so sorry, Sue. Just bear with me on this. This is like literally how to find parts for cars. But let's go back and look at pretty cars then. Okay, let's look at this. So this Mustang. So yeah, this is the cars that are coming up in the world because of the shift we have in Sue M. That manual is like a guy's Victoria's Secret catalog. Absolutely. That is exactly what this is. I mean, this is literally, yeah, this is how we get our sexy stuff. It's from this right here. This is the sexy stuff. It's just absolutely the sexy stuff. So yeah, now, but this Mustang, and the reason about the money on this is because this is the new collectibles. Because if you really think about it, people in their 30s that are making money now, and they have some disposable income, and say either their kids are much older now, because a lot of people, if they had kids when they're 25, they're above the age where you really don't have to, babysit them. They're actually can help you with stuff. Or, you didn't have kids in your 30s, early 40s. This is the car you remember, because this is the car you grew up with. And this is the type of car that in the future is going to be going up in value, as opposed to the older stuff like this Turnpike Cruiser, which is absolutely gorgeous and only sold for $25,000. I mean, this car absolutely. How much mileage? Has 91,000 miles on it. It's how old is it? 70 years old, and it is literally in beautiful condition. Beautiful car. But that Mustang sold for more just because at this point, that Mustang is much, much more in the zeitgeist of the new collector. Because honestly, this type of stuff, the people wanting this, I don't want this car. I mean, I like it. I wouldn't want one. I don't like 50s cars because they weren't fully realized. Their engines were still getting built better. They had single master cylinders for their brakes. This is and this one still, I think, still has it. Dear God, no, yeah, right here. Wait, is that a power booster? Oh my God, it has a dual. Somebody actually changed it. It actually has a dual on it, so you won't die if one of your brake lines lets go. So that's good. But this is kind of where we are with classic cars. But like, what year is this? 97 F-250, 17 grand. Wow, I don't even think the truck sold for that much new. 7.3 in it. Here we go. A 94 Honda 2-day Pochette hatchback. So this is a real Japanese car, and this didn't sell. These are becoming, even though this is weird and ugly, but these types of cars are getting hot. Same thing. Look at these little vans. I see these everywhere in Tampa. $23,000. This is just the pickup version. And this is what gets sold on Wednesday and Thursday. You have like more of the car that the not rich collector can go grab. Like, I don't know why anybody on God's green earth would want this car. This had the crossfire injection, which is one of the worst fuel injection setups ever in the history of mankind. These Corvettes are hotter than hell, even with air conditioning, because that back window bakes them. And look at this, man, M3 convertible, Did not sell for 10,000. But here's a Shelby, and I actually pulled that up here. Oh, wait, no, that's this one right here. No, this one right here. No, it's over here, I guess. This car actually is a real Shelby. It has air conditioning. It is a #1 condition car. Sold for 78 plus what's 7,800 on top of that. So then you're looking at 86,000. But I looked up on the values, and this is between a 1 and 2. Yeah, that's about right. It's about right because 4% for the manual has a manual transmission. So I mean, some of this, I mean, that actually was not a bad deal for a not a bad deal for a auction. Honestly, I mean that's really amazing. Because the first couple of days, I have actually seen some cars here that are not really terrible like this, but this is insane. I had to pull this up. Everyone remembers these cars, the 94 Impala SS. Well, this one has 1,700 miles on it. And wait, let's go back to that then. Yes, this Mustang, actually, let's see. I bet that has an 8-track in it. I don't know. I don't think it does. It has air conditioning, which is, let's see. What does it have? Do. Let's see the interior. Let's see the dash. Let's see. Does it? Looks like just I don't see a hole. Oh, yeah. No, it just has an 8-track in it. No 8-track in it. It just has AM radio. AM radio. So, but let's see. It looks like it's power. Yes, it has power windows in it. No, it has manual. I don't know what these are. I don't know what these switches are. What are those? But yeah, no 8-track. So sorry. Articulate John, wood steering wheels get me going. Yeah, wood steering wheels are really cool. That was a really neat thing that was on all performance cars in the 60s and early 70s. Actually, this kind of ended in early 70s, but every muscle car from Mopar had one of them. Ford was really big into having the wood steering wheels. You just had to keep them moisturized, otherwise they would crack. But yeah, I mean that literally is that's like that classic. That's that classic look of Oh, those are the fog lamps. Oh, look at that. Those are neat switches. And there's the 4-speed. This is actually this car. And there's that wood steering wheel with all the wood in the dash. I mean, Shelby, when they did Mustangs, I mean, good God, they really made them a hell of a car. This is an incredible car. Absolutely, this car is absolutely utterly beautiful car. And this person bought a really nice car. So hopefully it's not just a collector. It's somebody. Let's see, my dad had the Impala 30-year anniversary one. Oh my God, seriously? So you had that body style? Yeah, but I bet it wasn't worth $35,000. No, 1994. Crazy stuff. I mean, this is one of those things where I guess it was just the right person at the right time because I didn't think any of these could be worth that much. It has 1,700 miles on it. Actually, it's not light blue on that Mustang. It looks it, but they call it gray, pastel gray. You know what though? It's for a gray car. Yeah, you can see it better here. It's kind of more muted. The first picture had a lot more, but honestly, I don't like gray cars. This one looks good. This looks really good. This is a nice looking car. Everything is so well done on it. I'm impressed by this. And I can't, you know what boggles my mind is that this car was sold on a Thursday. Because honestly, this car should have been a Friday or Saturday car because it's still a Shelby Cobra. You know, it's a Shelby GT350 and it's in very, very nice shape, unless it's something we can't see. But usually you can tell if a car's been just dottled together. Looks white. Yeah, it's a pastel gray. So probably in some lights it looks this white. So Barbados looks like the Pontiac Grand Am. Everybody had one of those. Uh, well, they copied a lot of the stuff on the Grand Am to. Oh, or are you talking about the? I don't know. I'm going in previous conversations now. What about here? Yes, this is a nice ride. This was $85,000 of nice ride, but it's also a Shelby GT350 4-speed with air conditioning and documentation at the wazoo. This is actually probably one of the nicer cars I've ever seen sold on a Thursday. Honest to God, I'm like, it's just absolutely amazing. Looks like Charlie's Angels. Yes. But yeah, so this was a surprise, and somebody was actually looking for this car because it's just so odd for it to get big money on a Thursday and also to be sold on a Thursday. Very, very weird. So if you can go to an auction once, actually go more than once, but if you have the opportunity to go to a Mecum auction, if they're near you, it's like $20 to get in. Go in because it's fascinating. You'll see cars that you've never seen before. But if you sit there and watch how the bidding is done in person, it is absolutely batshit. It's crazy how it is done. It is one of the nuttiest things you'll ever see. And you can go through the staging area when they're bringing the cars in, and you can hear them running and see. It's really it's a fun time. Really fun time. And they have they have all refreshment areas and neat stuff like that. But and they have all road art. Like they have signs. If you like automotive signs or old signs, they'll have those too. So yeah. So then this one actually caught my eye because the price on this car, it's a 79 Chrysler Cordoba with 49,000 miles on it for less than $10,000. The person bought this car for less than 10 grand. And this is actually a steal. I know it's a Malaise car, but they put a carburetor on it and stuff. It would actually be pretty decent. But my God, it's a Chrysler Cordoba. Sue, I'm a town over does Saturday night car shows in their Acme parking lot. Do you want me to shoot some video? I can ask them who are you wearing? Sure. To send it to GJ's Classic Garage at gmail.com. And maybe I'll use it on the next week's live. Why not? Because I'm actually gonna try to go to a car show. I'm actually gonna try to go to a car show this Saturday night at Culver's. The Culver's near me actually gets Culver's National to have a car show. And they're having it. I'm going to try. If it's not raining, I'll take the charger out. Articulate John, the fastest car ever driven was early 2000 VW Beetle that was supposedly had turbo. Yes. The front wheel drive, they actually had a turbo one. I got one as a loaner when I had a BMW. I got one as a loaner, and I kind of laughed at the car because it had a vase holder for flowers. And the thing is, when I came to my first stoplight, I heard a loud thud at the back of the car. Those cars had a spoiler above the back window that would slam shut when you came to a stop. And you thought you got hit every time you came to a stop. It was that loud. It would just slam shut. It was absolutely crazy. And yes, what about all that this car is a steal. Honest to God, because they went and they actually put a real carburetor on there, and they've done some work on it. It's only 200 made with T-tops. They put an Edelbrock on there, Holly intake, white with red interior, and I think it is the rich Corinthian leather. Look at that Corinthian leather with the 85 mile per hour speedometer, and the clock still works. Oh. But somebody unfortunately put an aftermarket radio in. I'm kind of upset over that. And wait, let's see. Yes, it did, and yes, it did have fine Corinthian leather. Um, I had a friend whose father had a nice white Cordoba, just like the one in the ad. Oh my God! Wow, that's a shame. It probably rotted away or stopped running. No car shows at Aldi's. No, very funny. Ha 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 ha. We don't. They don't have them at. When I grew up on Staten Island, they would have them in parking lots of department stores, food stores, because we would meet at night. I don't understand this cars and coffee crap. I don't like getting up early during the week. I'm sure as hell not going to do it on the weekend. And we used to meet at night, and the food store is closed, and so we go there, and there'd be like a deli or whatever, and you'd go get something to drink, maybe get a snack, and you'd hang out in the parking lot, and then people would go drag racing on South Avenue. And yeah, wait, Sue M, a shutter on the window of a car? What are you talking about? Wait, are you talking about shutter? I'm trying to figure out what car I was looking at. No, 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 no. I'll just well, that's because Ricardo Montalban made sure we knew that was fine Corinthian leather, which I don't even know if there's such a real thing, but that's what Chrysler's had in them. They had fine Corinthian leathers. Oh, the shutter. No, no, it was a spoiler that slammed shut while you came to a stop. It was above that back window, and it went up, and it came down so hard when you stopped that it was like it was just horrendous. Yes, actually, Barbara Rush. He said he made up Corinthian letter. Yes, but Ricardo Montalban said it. Ricardo Montalban could have been said it was made of fine cat leather, and everybody would have thought it was really sexy. Yeah. Yes. Way back you mentioned it. Yes, every time you stopped it close, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. In fact, wait, let's see if I can find. Let me just see if I can find one of these. Uh, 2002 VW Beetle Turbo spoiler. Mm, na, 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 na. Here it is. Oh, this horror! This is just a horrible, horrible thing. And this is where it was. I'm going to show you. So this is that spoiler. So you wouldn't think that something like that. You think that wouldn't be so bad, but it was electronically controlled, and when the power turned off, I guess it had springs, and it would just slam and hit the bodywork underneath it. There was no rubber or anything. It just metal on metal slamming. And yeah, it was pretty bad. So it was not a pleasant experience. Not a pleasant experience. Hated it. I had that car because I forgot what was wrong with my BMW, but it was in there for a few days, and I literally was just dreading driving this thing. It was embarrassing. I actually didn't want anybody to see me in it. I mean, it was that bad. Yeah, the new Beetle Turbo S model had a shutter set up. Yeah, it it's a spoiler. It was to keep the back of the car down because Volkswagen Group had the issue with this and the TT. The TT was much worse. The TT, at high speed, the rear end would actually get light because of the aerodynamics in the car. It had nothing pushing it down the way it was shaped. And this car is the same way. There's nothing pushing that back of that car down. So it just would get light. And remember, everything's up in the front of this car, so there's nothing to keep it from not being, light. And yeah. So there's that. All right, let's go back. All right, that's enough of this nonsense with this damn thing. All right, so we got the Corinthian leather car, and then of course a Barracuda Formula S fastback. And these cars, see, this is where those cars that were on the bottom are coming up. This one was 24 grand. These cars you couldn't give them away a few years ago, and now they're actually coming back in value. Are coming up in value because there's nothing else left. And then, of course, you have this one. Okay, so I wanted to pull this one out because everybody, the retail red will have the fastback car. Absolutely. This is when I always talk about retail red. When I talk about a flipper car, I talk about something that's a flipper. This is a flipper car. And this ended up at the auction. It sold for $5,500. So for like $6,000, some poor sucker bought this car. And when I looked at the pictures, I knew this was a flipper car. I have no idea how little money was put in this thing, but I'm guaranteeing it was not a lot. Because this is a Thunderbird. It's a 61 Thunderbird. These are really nice cars. There's a 390 in it. And has 64,000 miles allegedly. Has cruise control. Has automatic transmission. Here's the key: new paint, air conditioning, power windows, power steering, power brakes, swing away steering column, fender skirts, white walls, blah blah blah. But then you start looking, and then you go, uh oh, look at the paint job on this car. Look at that paint job on how, I mean, literally they didn't even mask it off. Literally, they left the hood closed and shot the car, and whatever ran down into the creases ran down into the creases. That is how this car was painted. This is why this car was $5,500. This is a retail red. I got you, sucker. This is what you usually see at those dealers that sell, there were consignment dealers. This is what you'll see. So if you're looking at an old car, I have a friend that's looking at an old car, and you see this under the hood, you tell them to walk away from it. I mean, this person paid $5,500. The engine may be worth that if it's actually not garbage. But, honestly, the paint job on this car is garbage. I imagine it's full of Bondo. Absolutely, I think it's just full of all plastic. I can't imagine that this is actually a good car. And yes, this is perfect. Painted by Stevie Wonder. Yes. Actually, don't insult Stevie Wonder. Wow, should have stayed white. Vintage 76 garages. Yes. But here's the thing. Retail red. It is truly amazing what people will do to try to get a sucker to buy a car. And even at the minimum they did, there's no way they made any money in this car, because $5,500, they give 10%. So they made $5,000. I can't imagine. And if they lost money, good, because dear God, this is a tragedy against cars. This is a tragedy to people with eyesight. This is literally how a car should not be. Look at it. Look over here. Look how this. I mean, literally, the runs just come down into the engine compartment, and it's just pathetic. I mean, seriously, pathetic. I don't understand how all this is done. Like, the engine and all is done kind of nice. I can see some issues here with this filler, the radiator filler. That's hiding some sins right there. But honestly, looking at this, it's not. You're right. It should have been left white. Larry Mondello's shoes, Krylon spray paint from the can. I honestly think a spray can job would be better than what's on this car. This looks like literally. It's a shame, because look at the interior of this car. I mean, I think the dash is cracked, but Nevertheless, the seats are nice. I mean, they did paint inside the door jambs, kinda. You can see the overspray onto the dash. There's overspray onto the rubber. I I mean, literally nothing was removed on this car to paint it, and it really isn't shiny. Even in these pictures, it really isn't shiny. You can kinda see that it has a lot of, fisheye in it. I'm surprised they took any of the paint trim off this car. Oh, there's a Super Bee behind there. I didn't see the Super Bee for sell. Oh, darn. That's a 70 Super Bee in back of it with broken wipers. Um, but yeah, I'm shocked that honestly that this car went to auction like this. I mean, but you can see how bad the paint is, and there's actually dents in the. I like there's dents in the door. Yeah, actually, if you look real close, you can see dents in the driver's door. This is literally a flipper car all day long, twice on Sunday. And when you go to these auctions, you actually get to see flipper cars. And you get a really good look at cars there because you can walk around the meander as long as you want and take as much time as you want. And really, like cars that you're interested in, you can go look at a lot of them and get a good feel for what's really crap and what's not. If you don't know about a lot about cars, you could still look at them and kind of understand what good workmanship looks like and garbage. This is garbage. This is an absolute tragedy, and it's a shame because these 61 Thunderbirds are really cool cars. Absolutely fun cars. And the sad thing is that if we go here to the collector, there's a website called the Collector Car Market Review, and it's actually pretty good. But we go to Ford, right? And you go to 1961, and we pick up a Thunderbird, two-door hardtop. I mean, they basically sold it for number 4 condition, which is basically almost a wreck. It's a step above wreck. I mean, anything in decent, and I don't bring a lot of money, but if the car was done nice, they could have, the thing is, you'd never get your money back. It's done nice. This car's worth in the upper teens. It really, honestly, this car is worth in the upper teens. Done nice. I'm talking like something you can bring into a car show and go, wow, that's a great looking car. These 61 Thunderbirds, because I mean, they just don't. And see, it doesn't have the right engine on it. It's supposed to have a 352, which is a horrible Y block. I mean, that's why they don't have big value. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that is a sin. That is a sin against cars. Oh my God. Gozamas. How you doing, brother? Look at it. Look at this pig. I guess you just got here. You want to see the pictures on this pig? This is why you don't ever buy a car unseen, because if they don't take full pictures, because look at the paint job in this engine. Look at the paint job in this engine compartment. Look at this. Look at the runs. You can see the runs down the side because they shot it with the hood closed. Over here, it's just drained into the side. A wonderful retail red paint job. Just beautiful, and has the wrong engine in it to boot. So it just got, Lord only knows. But yeah, that's what I was just looking at. And the thing is, this car has absolutely no value. Even if it was done really well, it has no value. It's a shame. I love these cars. I didn't realize they were that low on value. They're a good size. They handle okay. They just need a double master cylinder and make it so you don't die. Because the brakes fail. But I mean, I always like the look of this. It's like the Bullet Birds. But yeah, it's just sad. This is a flipper's car, and it's a flipper's car's dream. And that's why I had to include it, because my God, this is just rough. And I would literally, this is where, I would imagine that this car may just be going overseas. I mean, as bad as it is, they're in a 50. They're at $6,000 for this car. They're at $6,000. Has a 390 and has the big engine that was added on, but 390 is potent. Interior's okay. I bet. Yeah, I bet if you flip it over to Germany, if you have like a large shipment going over there and it costs only like $3,000 to get it into the country, and you could sell it for like 20, yeah, you've just made money. So I can see how that happens because there's no way that somebody in their right mind that lives in the United States bought this car. There's absolutely no way on God's green earth. I literally, no one with two eyes that lives in the U.S. would buy this car. I just can't fathom owning a car that's painted that bad. Yep. Oh, I 100% Grozamas. Overseas is the market for vintage U.S. cars. Yes. Oh, I see. For the Mopar things I'm on, the Mopar sites, there are so many. It's Sweden. It's really crazy. Like Sweden and Finland are huge muscle car countries. Huge. And I'm like, isn't it snow there like 7 months of the year? But there they are. And literally they have like the cool. I don't know how much money they spend on these things to try to get them done over there because I can't imagine it's cheap, and gas is probably $12 a gallon. I just can't fathom it. Yes, Larry Mondello's shoes. It does have fuzzy dice. Maybe they paid an extra 1,000 for the dice. It could be, but yeah. So this is like what you'll see at these auctions, and you just kind of shake your head when you see this type of car. And you shake your head harder when you see it sell. Let's see. Gosmaya, Gozamas, all of Europe, yes, but South, Korea and other small Asian countries picked up lately. Yeah, they're starting to get interested in American stuff too. But the problem is, a lot of those countries don't have room. You know what I mean? Like you need for a car. This is what is this, like a 17-foot long car? I mean, this is and it's gonna get 10 miles to the gallon if it's lucky on a good day. And I just, yeah, those Northern European countries, there are wealthy people there and they have some room, but yeah, I can't imagine the Asian countries because there's not a lot of room there. And I mean, I guess maybe gas is cheap, but there's that. So this was like the low. This was the low point of what I found for the last 2 days. This was actually something that blew my mind. This is like polar opposite. Holy crap! Why is this for sale on a Thursday? This is a 1970 Dodge Charger RT 446 pack car. These are rare. I mean, seriously, these are rare. There's maybe 1,500 of them. How many do they say? Oh wait, 347. One of 347. Broadcast sheet fender tag, full restoration, couple months, 4-speed car, track pack car, a real plumb crazy car. I mean, look at this. Look at this Charger. I mean, look at that engine compartment. It's a little dirty, but that is a 446 pack. It's a real thing. There's the fender tag right there. Everything is as it should be. This is utterly amazing that this went on for sale on a Thursday. It went under the hammer on a Thursday. And this is a type of car you'd see on a Saturday. And it has the original interior with that little cloth insert. The dash has been redone. It's a little overdone, but hey, it looks really nice. Non-air car, non-vent car. Yeah, there's the pistol grip 4-speed. And this is what you would expect for a Charger. And it's sold, but it got real money. Somebody knew it was there, $106,000, which is about right for one of these Chargers. Wait, well, what about out? No. That's plumb crazy. Actually, plumb crazy in 1970 was the most popular color on Chargers and Challengers. I am not kidding. It was the most popular color. It looks much better in person than it does in pictures because there's a lot more of a violet hue to it It is it, and yes, Jamie, it is plum crazy. It is purple. The same color on Plymouth is called Inviolate. It's the same color though. And yes, 3 pedals. Actually, vintage 76 garage back then in the 60s and early 70s, they didn't have good torque converters. They were tight. They maybe 2200 RPM torque converters, so you couldn't wind the engine up. And the only way to go fast was to know how to drive 4-speed. And you shift this car with anger. That is how you shift this car, with anger. I have driven 4-speed big block cars. You shift with anger to go fast. You slam second gear. You slam third gear. So all those Roadrunner cars were purple. It was still very popular. In 70, it's a 1970 up color. So 1771, it was a big thing. Let's see. Them cars were big enough to knock up your girlfriend and raise your family, and just saying no one makes out in the girlfriend car. These say no. You have to have a truck. I like the car, not the price. That's what a Charger 446 pack car would be. Actually, it's probably on the lower end of what that car would be. Let's go take a look. This is the collector. Let's go take a look. Let's see how crazy we are right now. 1970. I love 70s. This is an RT. And we're adding 35% and for up on top of this. So that's over 100,000. 4-speed. So 40%. Yeah, we're 40% on that. So yeah, this car is actually right number 2, and it's 100. Number 1, which is real close. This is a $150,000 car. So this is anywhere between 110 and 150,000. This person got a deal, even though they paid $10,000 VIG. They got a deal on that car. As insane as that sounds, they got a deal on this car. They're not upside down on it. No, the price is not off. It's insane. This is a 446 pack car. No vents. Yes. When you back then they had the floor vents on these. It was you didn't order strato vent, and this car was made for someone to race. That's why this car was bought for. This was somebody that went out and did drag racing. I imagine it looked pretty rough when they started restoring it, but this was a car somebody went and drag raced and probably went out and made money with, because that's what you would do. You would order a car with nothing in it, and you would then, it had some style, so you didn't want to buy a Super B. You bought a Charger, and you went out. You were drag racing this car all day long. Or street racing. You were racing in this car. Yeah, the color looks different in the sunlight than at night. Yeah, it turns very dark at night. Colors were a lot. Yes, up through about 1973, 74. Their color palette was beautiful for American cars. Then the Depression hit of the 1970s, and that's how we got brown. Lots of brown all day long. It was disgusting. It wasn't until the 80s we got color again. But yeah, for a Charger RT 446 pack done to this level, this is pretty impressive. And yes, this car was built for drag racing. That's why the miles it doesn't have the real miles. It says 622, but I imagine it wasn't very high because this car was made for drag racing. Sue M, why is the front end like that? Does it make it go faster? Yes and no. A Charger was a high-end Dodge. It was the highest end Dodge. It was it was basically their signature car. And the 70 is like that because it's a 1-year only car. If you remember, the Dukes of Hazzard car had a different type of grill. In 1970, they were supposed to come out with my type Charger with the Coke bottle shape, but this is kind of like a stopgap, and it was to make it look mean. The Daytona was used to go fast. I'll even show a Daytona, 1969 Daytona. This is a Daytona. This was made to go fast. Suem. This is the Charger. Whoa, why did it do that? This was the car that was made to go fast. This one right here, and here's like a NASCAR version of it. So this is the Charger with an arrow nose and a wing on the back. But what they what this Charger is kind of a street racer with with an attitude. That's the whole thing they did. They did that for a look. Yeah, my Charger, the 71 is actually the 71 Charger, 72 Charger, much more aerodynamic. Much more. Because wait, let's see. 1972 Charger. SE. And we'll see if my car pops up. Sometimes my car pops up real early on these. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, holy crap. My car did pop up. There it is. Auto Evolution did a story on my car. Look at it. I'm going to show you everybody. Yeah. So Auto Evolution did a story on my car. There's my car. Now, this car was more aerodynamic. This car actually was the 71, 72 Chargers were made for NASCAR from the get-go. And the way that the front end, they had a drag coefficient of like 0.35. So when with the way the back was with the window, this is very aerodynamic. The car actually is very stable at speed. And the way the front is on the car, this front here, very, very small profile, very aerodynamic. These grills here are open in the middle, and there's a little air inlet there to keep the car cool, but the rest of the car was made very much to slip through the air. And so it was, yeah, I am actually. It was funny. They almost got some of the facts right on my car. I was like, yeah, I actually commented on it. Autobot Alley, everything you're painting your car a different color? No. It's one of it's one of 399 made. It's the highest remaining one that I know of. No, it stays gold. And you know what though? People used to hate that color. Now I get a lot of compliments on it. I actually get stopped when I'm out driving. Yeah. I honestly I wish the car had been honestly I'd wish the car had been like, I don't know, this color. Because I think that's Hemi orange. It is like, yeah, or this is Hemi orange. Yeah, I would have loved my car to have been Hemi orange. Absolutely, but it isn't. At least it's not this car. That's double green. Green inside, green outside. At least it's not that car. And at least had a white roof, but the green roof was available that year. You could get a green roof like this car has. It's an SE like mine. That has a green roof, green paint job, and a green interior. That's vile. Makes me want to be sick. That's a triple green car. Yeah. But yeah, kind of nasty. Let's see. It isn't no way down, Jamie. It's not about being sentimental. It's about being like holding something historical, because the car is Y4 gold. I'm one of these people that doesn't like just changing colors of cars when they have anything. Oh my God, Sue M, give me $19.99 to keep it gold. Okay, I'll do it, Sue M. Thank you very, very much. I will keep it gold. Absolutely, I'll keep it gold. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sue. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. Blue with a white. Let's see. Blue with a white roof. Yeah, actually, the thing is though, that year they had a nasty blue, and I have seen that. Where is it? There was one for sale that was this horrible. Oh, here it is. Jesus. This is one of the blues, and actually, this is an SE. This is an SE with a sunroof in it. It's a sunroof car like mine. And look at that blue. That's one of the blues they had this year. It's disgusting. And I saw a double blue one. Yes, I do. I have pizza making money. Yes, I do. I'm so excited over this. The pizza was to die for. You didn't even have it, but I know it was. You know what? It tasted as good as it looked. I was very happy over that. Very happy. Yeah, that was. I like being able to make pizzas in a minute. It's fun. Dark blue, DJ, but I drive a red one fine. I don't like red cars. I really don't. I don't think I'd ever own a red car, even though this is actually pretty badass looking, even though it's not correct. But I just have this thing against red cars. This is a B5 one. B5 looks nice. It looks very nice on this car. I would change the wheels because my car, when we bought it, had these hubcaps on it, and they weren't supposed to be there, but God, they are nasty, kind of bland looking. But yeah, this blue is nice. It's B5, nice medium blue. Really, really makes the car look pretty awesome. Here's another one. This is a nice paint job on this car. Very nice. I like this. This blue has always been a very good color. Always been a very good color. You know, it shows up real well. It actually is for not being a high impact color, it's a pretty high impact color. It really does stick out. That's your blue. Absolutely. I mean, it looked good on all the body styles. It was one of those colors that looked good on the 68 through 70s, and then it looked good on the 71 and ups. It just had that, I don't know, it just had a very good look to the car. Because then when you look at it here, like on this one, this rally, I mean, it looks sharp. It really does. It looks very sharp, as opposed to this color blue, which, my God, it looks like it should be in a kid's room. And then there's also this tawny gold that I'm glad my car isn't, or poly gold. It's not. It's really to me. This reminds me of a lot of Dodge Darts, so I'm kind of glad my car's not that color. Yeah, I got very lucky. I don't think this was a factory color. This burgundy. It's nice though on that car. Yeah, here's a nice side shot of it. Seeing that blue. It really is. It looks very nice on that car. I'll give it that. It looks very nice. So medium blue. Yeah, medium blue is nice. Dark blue, it depends. But the medium blue looks very good on that. The Chrysler blue, that medium blue looks really nice on the car. It truly does. Yeah, there's a few colors that don't look good. Actually, it was weird because they have one here. This is brown. Brown does not look bad on this car. I mean, honestly, for a brown, that's not bad looking, is it? It looks pretty sharp on the car. I always found it not bad. So, it's just a thing of taste, I guess. It's just I don't really like red cars, and dark green cars make me ill. I can't. I can't. This brown car I wouldn't have a problem with. I've owned a brown car in my life. I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's not horrible. It still looks very formal. So that's a thing right there. So yeah, so it's kind of neat when you go to these auctions though, because you can see like cars like this and see them in different colors, and it's just fascinating because they'll look very different in person, and then they'll also look very. And my cat just knocked everything down. Monster. So, let's go back to here we go. So here is a 64 Thunderbird. Now, as opposed to that previous Thunderbird, this one was $7,100. So under $8,000, the owner bought this. And this is a real 390 car, 77,000 miles on it. And 390, new rebuilt carburetor, rebuilt transmission, factory air, new alternator. And I am floored that this car was only 8,000. Because look, the engine compartment is actually the way it should be. It has the right air cleaner on it. This all doesn't look weird. The engine compartment's the same color as the car. Up here, it's correct. It's black like it should be for a Ford. Everything is here. There's a lot of weird wiring, but, this is a car that somebody actually did a good job and stole. Tell me the difference to the Dodge 100K. Okay. It's about desirability. A 446 pack car, there weren't a lot of them. And then a 4-speed, it was even less. So there was like only a few hundred of those cars made. Now, you got to remember, they were made for racing. And you probably had a 20% attrition rate. So probably 20% of those cars out of like the 300 got destroyed. Like made into a ball and, basically crushed up really, really tiny. And so that's why you really don't have a lot. Plus, that car was fully restored. And I did a video on my channel on how much it costs to restore a car. And for all that work they put into that car and the car being rare, you got a hell of a deal. Especially if everything inside was done right, you got a hell of a deal. That car is better than it was new. If you keep it in the garage, wax it, and don't do anything stupid, it'll last 30 years like that. Because my car was painted 2005. So my car's been painted for 20 years. How many of those? They made a lot of these Thunderbirds. Oh my God, they made a lot of these Thunderbirds. This was a popular car. 1964 Thunderbird. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm curious too. Yeah, they made 92,000 of those Thunderbirds. They made a lot of those Thunderbirds. But this is a nice example. And honestly, it's a little run down, but everything's there. There's a crack in the dash, but the parts are available for this car. It's a Thunderbird. It's got a Landau top on it. I always like these taillights. This is a really sharp car. I mean, you could go and just cruise in this car. You know what I mean? You don't have to go win a car show with it, but you know what? You can drive around in this car absolutely all day long. Has awful LED headlights, so it's the only thing I'd really take away from this car. But I mean, if you really look at it, it's a good car. If it underneath was nice. So only 92,000 more than the Charger. Yeah, that's about right. Thunderbird's available with a 3-speed or a 4-speed. That's a great question. Let's go look, see if it actually has a thing for the 64 Thunderbird, because I think that went away once you got out of the 57s. And I have a cat behind me, don't I? Oh, Thunderbird's all over here by itself. Nope. All automatics. Landau. Wow. They paid number 3 condition for that car. Man, they did good. Yeah. But once again, not a lot of value. Yeah, no. Thunderbirds after 57, no more sticks in them, because Ford made it a luxury, kind of the first luxury coupe. So they just didn't do that. You know what's weird is that, I mean, look at that inside. Any small damage is a badge of honor. Yes and no. It just means it's been lived in. But what's funny is that the Vintage 76, Chrysler built Chrysler 300s up until 1965 or 6, and you can get a 3-speed or a 4-speed in them. Honest to God, you can get a Chrysler with a stick in it because it was a 300. My uncle actually passed up buying one of those cars at Carlisle, and it was cheap. and it was a convertible. It was a 63 300 convertible, and the guy wanted like $7,000, and this is in the 80s. And yeah, that's an expensive car now. So yeah, and of course the last one. This car is on my list of 5 affordable muscle cars. The 67 Oldsmobile 442. Now this is a convertible, but it is a convertible 442 that runs and drives. Seems all there, has paperwork, $23,000. So 25 grand with the VIG, 24,000 miles on this car. New paint job, but new power top. Power tops are a pain in the ass. But I mean, the car presents well. The interior sucks. I don't like that piping. It looks awful, but this is a decent car. I mean, for a convertible from the 60s, I really wouldn't be. I mean, 24,000 from what I've seen, this is not bad to get a convertible from that time. It would have been nice if they gave you a spare tire. Weird wiring going on back here. I don't know, but honestly, though, for the most part, this is a good looking car. I don't know why you put the polyglass on it when you did that interior, but hey, whatever. But yeah, has a new top on it and everything. Absolutely amazing, this car. And the price for 25 grand, after you pay your VIG to the auction house, that is honestly a steal to buy a 60s muscle car convertible. Wow. Let's see. Since automatic transmissions exist in the 1940s, there are cars that never had 3 pedals. Yeah, like Cadillacs. Cadillacs from the 50s on, when they developed the automatic, there were no stick shift Cadillacs. That didn't exist anymore. Same thing with Lincolns. Once they had the automatics, there was no more stick shift Lincolns. Looks awesome, and it's less than a new car today. Yeah, and it's built better. Built a lot better, and you can actually fix it. Yep, Cadillac. Oh, absolutely, and Lincoln. Those are three. Chrysler did put stick shifts in because Chrysler's insane, but Imperials didn't. Once you had automatics, Imperials did not have sticks in them. They had automatics only. So yeah, it wasn't a driver's car. It was a car to be driven in, kind of one of those things. But those 60s Cadillacs are just absolutely that's the GOAT of luxury car. No, those seriously, if you've never seen a 60s Cadillac or never rode in one, if you especially haven't rode in one, you got to find a way to ride one. It is absolutely, it is like nothing you'll ride in today. I mean, there's a lot of impressive cars today, and yeah, they ride great. Let's see, what's Jamie here? I've only driven cars with power steering. As nice as those older cars, I bet they're more difficult. No, actually, this car has power steering in it. Well, Ed Rooney, a Cadillac CTS isn't a classic era Cadillac. It's a current era Cadillac. Yes, I know, because they're going after BMW poorly. Benjamin, I've driven one. I've been in love with several 60 Cadillacs. Yeah, they literally were the height of luxury back in the 1960s. They were the car. That's why it says made like a Cadillac. Yeah, because it really was that level of engineering, and it was their pinnacle car, and they made sure that it always was the best car. You mean the 88 Cimarron Cavalier? Sure. And it's okay, Edward. You can wait. That's fine. Yeah, it's better than not coming out. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Oh my God. Come on. Cimarron? You gonna come in here and bring that? You gonna bring the Cimarron? Really? You gonna bring Cimarron? Seriously? Compared to real Cadillacs, you're gonna bring a Cimarron? The Cavalier, literally the Cavalier, of Cadillacs. I mean, look at this. I mean, come on. You're actually, I spelled it wrong, but you actually look. You gotta be kidding me. You're absolutely joking, right? Look at this thing. I remember when these came out, and it was like, sure. I mean, that's a Cadillac. This is on the heels of the 468 disaster. So yeah, we got that, and then we're gonna pull up 1982 Chevy Cavalier. Yeah, there we go. Same car. Got rid of that. So yeah, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely not. No, please. Please. Ugh. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Made like Caddy died 71, 72. I don't know. My uncle had a 73 convertible Eldorado. That was still, it still had the feel. It still had that feel. It was the late 70s that it died. By 77, yeah, it was gone. They were slowly, but 77 it truly died. Yes, the Cimarron was the light beer of Cadillacs, absolutely. Grosser was born outside Munich, didn't know anything else but BMW into 5th grade. Kidding, but almost. My dad never drove different. No, the BMW was the common car. Yes, I have an 87 SDL made in Stuttgart. Yeah, that's a good car. You saw a picture of that. That's a good car. But yeah, so yeah, come in here and bring in Cadillac Cimarron. Come on, we're talking about real cars here. we're talking about real cars. We're not talking about Cadillac Cimarrons. Oh my god, that I remember those came out, and it was just like, okay, sure, sure, General Motors. Yeah, that's great. Cimarron's available at 3 pedals. Yeah, okay, sure. Oh my god, that's just no. You guys always bring the humor. I love it. I love that you bring the humor because dear god. I need to laugh when I do this type of stuff because it can be car stuff can be very serious. Has the Yugo become a classic car? If you can find one, I guess it is. My grandfather worked at a car dealership that sold them, and they brought one in, and you're supposed to clean it when you get them. They brought it into their they'll go wash it, and the water went straight through the car. Quality. Let's see. Cimarron is available the month for speed. That's the epitome of GM performance. Oh, Cimarron. The month of speed. That's the okay. Yeah, they sold well. Yeah, so yeah, well, that's what General Motors was aiming at. That type of market. That was their first dabble into the small car market, trying to go after going after the BMW, which they still are trying. And honestly, voice to text. Mine does stuff like that too. Yeah, smaller cars. Well, and honestly, actually, I may do something on that because Ford and General Motors had the advantage in the 70s that they already had small cars that were already ready for road in the early 70s, and Chrysler really didn't. And that's how they all kind of did well with getting through the gas crisis and all, because they had this smaller cars they can go and use. So this is there may be something I may do a little thing on. I like historical stuff. I've had a lot of fun doing historical pieces because that's been a little more fun than I have some hands-on stuff I'm gonna be doing right now. I'm actually I'm gonna be using the charger, and I actually will be doing a video with my charger on some Boostain Professional. We'll see how that works. It's supposed to raise the octane in my car. I should be able to raise it like 3 to 4 points. So maybe I'll get rid of that nasty ping I can't get rid of, and we'll see. But yeah, so I have that coming up, and yeah, we'll see in the next week what type of insanity comes down the pike, because we've had some crazy stuff the last 10 days. Benjamin, I've seen some videos of 1970s Cadillacs where they basically float down the road, so smooth and luxurious. Yeah, that was what Cadillac was known for. Same thing with Lincoln. They were having a competition who could float down the road best. Chrysler tried that too with those giant. They actually came out with the largest car ever in 1974, the Imperial, 4-door Imperial, 230 something inches long, absolutely just massive car, 5,000 pounds. It was horrible. Let's see, smaller cars for Europe in the 70s and 80s. Lots of people grew up in it. Now willing to, but vintage. Yeah, actually, I'll be going to Europe in a few months, and I'm to rent a car. I know how tiny I need, but I have to be able to fit 3 people. This is going to be entertaining. Yeah, Buick had big cars, still not as big as the Chrysler Imperial, but yes, my uncle had one. He actually brought it home. He had an Electra 225, or as we all called it in New York, a deuce and a quarter, because 225 deuce and a quarter. That car was massive, 4-door. It was about 218, 220 inches long, but the Chrysler was 230. The 70 Cadillacs had a trash can on the passenger footwell. Yes, Ed Rooney. Cadillac thought of everything. Oh, Gus asks, you better live stream from Europe. Dude, it's 6 hours ahead. I'm doing the maths on this, and to me, do it at 8 o'clock at night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I want to do that. I will do some stuff from over there, but I sure as hell am not going to go live at 8 o'clock Eastern from at 2 a.m. in there. We're awake. Yes, but I don't think I'll be. I have a lot of stuff to do. I'm having fun. I'm seeing family. So there's that. All right. I think on that fun bombshell of giant Cadillacs and Cadillac Cimarrons, and trying to do podcast over in Europe at 2 a.m. I think it's time to I will have fun. Oh, absolutely. I can't wait. Which car am I renting? Last time I rented a Citroen. Yes, I know. But it was they have a bigger one. Actually, I saw that you can get the Jeep, the one that's based on the Fiat 500 XL. I saw one of those because see, in where I'm going in Italy, renting a car is cheap. It's the insurance that costs as much as renting. So I'm trying to get something that is fairly not that expensive, but big enough. And the Jeep Renegade actually isn't that bad, and I think I can fit it through the roads. Because there's some really, really, really tight roads, and I almost destroyed that Citroen. And that was a car that was so tiny. I'll show a picture. I'll probably put a picture up of it. I gotta look for it. I only podcast from Eastern Europe. Yeah. Yes. What about Al? Yes. Good night. Good weekend, everybody. Peace and love. Yes. Length of Lamborghini. No. Not where I'm driving. Yeah. No, I'm not driving to Europe. I can't imagine what type of fuel economy I get. Okay. All right. Okay. On that total insanity at the end there about driving to Europe, I think it's time to say goodnight. It's almost my bedtime anyway. And thanks all for coming. And thank you, Sue M. You're fabulous. You're awesome. And I hope everybody learned something. And if you know somebody that didn't watch this show, let them know about the show so they can watch it also. And same thing with my videos. I have some really good stuff, and I really appreciate it. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers within the next 6 months. And I mean, it's a small goal, but I want to get there. and I'm going to start really hacking on that. I really want to get to 10,000. So, all right. So thank you very much. And as always, I'm going to say it again, but if you have something cool with something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, and it'll probably be your own. And I'll catch everybody very, very soon. If you liked what you saw, you like, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.